Hi, my babies. How are we doing? All right. I just want to do a reading with Mother Lilith. Anytime I bring out this red deck, that's usually when I'm channeling her. This is like my dark feminine deck almost. Anytime I need that little bit of empowerment, I whip out this bad boy. But let's see what she's got to say. So per usual, if this doesn't apply to you, sit right with you. You don't want to hear what I have to say. That is okay. I will be back some other time. A Rent-A-Center truck just drove past me. Rent-A-Center could be very significant to you. And even then too, also, you don't need to be a devotee or work with Lilith to listen to this message, okay? But let's just see. I call on Mother Lilith to guide collective into the highest good. Where you need to go. What do you have to say for this beautiful collective? Okay. Wow. So I got the Queen of Swords, and then I got the Knight of Swords, and then the Six of Wands in reverse at the bottom of the deck. She is coming through and straight up saying the way that you, I guess, speak to people has to change, okay? Now, if you really do, I guess, vibe with or really understand, like, Lilith's energy and Lilith's lore, you know, she's all about walking away, claiming your power back. You know, I always think of, like, you know, I always hear, like, what would Jesus do? I constantly do the what would Lilith do? Hence, I do, for my case, yes, I do work with Mother Lilith, okay? You know, if you look back, I guess, in the Jewish context, you know, about her being the first wife to Adam, you know, she just left the Garden of Eden. She didn't cuss Adam out. She didn't, like, she didn't come back and reminded him how big of a POS she was. No. And that's, I feel like, something this collective, you have a bad habit of doing is, like, I think you call power as, I need to go get my lick back. I need to remind them again how big of a POS they are and how they ain't this and I'm all up here. That's your ego talking. And I know, and a little bit of ego is not a bad thing because you need ego a little bit to protect yourself. But there is something, as bad as this sounds, as, you know, I think Lilith is trying to tell you're kind of on a power trip. And I feel like the way when you express your anger and your frustrations, it's coming from a power trip of I'm up here and you're down here a little bit. There is something with that, because I always say my Queen of Swords, she is my cutthroat. But I will give this, you know, and Lilith is not talking about, for this collective, about boundaries, because you know how to set boundaries clearly. You know, Queen of Swords is not always a bad queen. You know, I do love my Queen of Swords because, yes, she could come off very mean, but she knows her worth. And again, Lilith says she knows where it's coming from. You're doing it from a place of, you know, your worth, but not everything needs to be a fight. And it's coming from a place of, you're emotional when you do it. And I think deep down, she's trying to teach you some about when it comes to your emotions. And let's be real, you know, they always say, you know, there's a fight or flight mode with people. You definitely have a fight mode, and she's trying to teach you not everything needs to end in a fight. You don't always need to get the last word, is kind of what she's saying. Let's see, what else is she trying to talk to you about? Yeah, King of Pentacles in reverse. And what flopped out is the Knight of Wands in reverse. And then I got the Devil at the bottom of the deck. That's exactly what I'm talking about. And you keep getting it twisted, saying, well, it's coming from a place of, I'm letting people know who the F I am. Here's the thing. You already do, just being yourself, just being in your presence. There's nothing wrong with you having a little bite to you and wanting to know, you know, put somebody in their place. But again, when you do it, it's coming from a very chaotic place. You're not really in the most sovereign era, if that makes any sense. And with the Devil at the bottom deck, that's where I'm saying, I think it's you get it twisted and do the, well, I'm claiming my power back. No, you let these people get to you. You let these people consume you. And be honest with yourself. And I feel like this, I'm talking to a collective, you really do come off very thick skin. I think I am talking to a collective, and that's where I feel like Lilith is also praising you right now. She loves that you have a thick skin, that you can take the heat in the kitchen. But this is more, and again, it's not that you rip everybody's head off. It's not about criticism. That's not what this reading is about. It's more when people do hurt you, when people do play in your face, when people do something shady behind your back. that's when you have a bite to you. And again, there's nothing wrong with it because you're standing up for yourself, but she's telling you not everything needs to be a fight because you do it in a chaotic way. And be honest with yourself, you are thick-skinned, but deep down, you are sensitive, and that's okay if you are. Lilith is all about accepting your shadows, and I think your shadow you don't like to admit is that deep down you are a sensitive person. People's words do bother you. When people hurt you, it does bother you. And all she's kind of asking you to do is kind of acknowledge that, accept that, and that is okay. That's the beautiful parts of yourself. You know, the parts of yourself doesn't always need to be like, I gotta be tough, I gotta get them, otherwise they'll get me. She's kind of telling you in a funny way to lower the sword down. Let me confirm the Queen of Swords. Oh, wow, the Lovers. That's exactly what I'm saying. I'm getting that, you know, for the Emperor. There could be specifically right now a masculine you just want to cuss out. And for some of you, it could have been actual love. But that's where I'm saying this isn't about this collective taking criticism, nothing like that. This is more about you want to get somebody back. And, you know, it's given me the quote of, the scars on my heart didn't come from strangers, it came from the people I loved. Heavy Gemini energy is coming out of here. The Temperance. That's where I'm saying, and I do feel like with this Knight of Swords, let me confirm actually with the Knight of Swords, you got a test coming. You got a test coming. I feel like you are going to receive some form of communication. Yeah, Five of Wands right here, and then the Hermit in reverse. That's exactly what I'm saying. I think you're going to have somebody coming out of Hermit mode, and you are going to get an approach soon. And Lilith is very known anyways, especially if you are somebody that works with her. She's going to constantly test you, test your sovereignty. Here's the thing. Kill them with kindness, with the Temperance. Your silence alone is like a knife through a cloth, through a fabric. Just that perfect little rip. There needs to be this balance within you, because I love this card for the Temperance, because you see there's like, you know, the, you know, devil wing and then the angel wing right here. You need to be in full-blown balance about this. There needs to be a calmness towards you. There's a reason I'm bringing this up. You wanting to cuss somebody out and start literally a fight with the Five of Wands. With all due respect, I'm going to say this in the nicest loving way. You just look crazy. You look chaotic. You look sloppy. You look messy. This is exactly how Mother Lilith would bring that out to anybody. You just look sloppy and messy when you do it. You're not claiming your power back. Again, think of Lilith's lore. If you're looking at, again, her being the first wife to Adam and Eve, she didn't come back and cuss Adam out. She left. In a lot of texts, they say that Adam and Lilith never really even spoke again. She didn't go after Eve. She left. She dealt with her anger on her own terms. So I will say, I feel like whoever this masculine is, and who this masculine is, again, very general reading, could apply for a lot of different things for this collective. This is somebody that definitely still triggers you. What does triggers do? It's not a bad thing. It's just reminding our body and our soul what we still need to work on. And for this collective, you still have some anger and resentment towards this person. That is okay, but you need to get that out. Yeah, Eight of Swords, you're still triggered by this person. Again, I feel like deep down this collective, you don't want to admit it. I think that, again, that thick skin of yours, you're doing that. No, I'm not. I'm totally fine. I'm unfazed. As bad as it sounds, you are the most bothered in a 10-mile radius. The Emperor came out again. There's a stubbornness to you. Seven of Swords. And I get it. It's coming from, again, a place of betrayal. This person is a little bit sneaky. This person could have put you in other drama with other people. It could have been messy. Just because that situation's messy don't mean you got to be messy. This person's not worth it. You looking all sloppy and crazy and psychotic. No. Let's do one more for that Emperor. And then the Knight of Pentacles in reverse. Stop tripping and acting crazy again over somebody when the journey is over. With that Emperor, that's why I'm saying you want a little bit of a power trip. It's a way for you to get control of the situation. You don't. Journey's over. Real quickly, what do you need to do? Nine of Cups in reverse, as I just said. Queen of Pentacles, stand firm your ground. Don't